Welcome to the BVTV Network, coming to you from the UK studios of BizVision. I'm your host, Malcolm Gallagher. Now, this is episode 2 in the Happy Leader Trilogy with author and happiness expert, Tia Graham. Hello again, Tia.
Hello.
Just talking to me, makes me happiness. Listen, I found out how I'm going to stop being unhappy. I'm going to stop listening to country and western songs.
Okay, that's a tactic.
Yeah. I'm only going to listen to happy songs. Look, are there states of happiness that we need to understand? You and I both work extensively in the hospitality industry, and we know that there are varying degrees of customer satisfaction. You know, some people are just inwardly happy as the outwardly happy person, but that may not be obvious to you, their happiness. How do we spot or read happiness in its various guises without, of course, being too pushy with people?
Right. Well, when you said the outwardly and inwardly, absolutely, our genetics and our genetic history play a part to our happiness. You know, I have a happy-go-lucky dad. I definitely got some of his happy genes, for sure. So the first is recognizing that just like our physical appearance, our personality does come from genetic history. And then it's also our life circumstances. I say if you're a farmer in China or you're a lawyer in New York City, your life circumstances are very different, and that's going to play a part. But then a big significant part is on our choices. And in terms of happiness, there's what a lot of people associate with happiness is pleasure, the spikes in pleasure, whether it's having a glass of wine, watching Netflix, or maybe you're on a vacation in Hawaii, all of these pleasurable experiences that make us excited and feeling really joyful. But really what I teach and what I work on with leaders and teams is the day in, day out, how you feel when it's Monday morning and you got to get up and go to work. So it's more about using the science of happiness and neuroscience to increase your feeling of contentment and purpose during the days. And so recognizing that it's not necessarily an extroverted or an introverted on how people communicate with each other. It's really about internal feeling and our thoughts and our actions every single day.
Yeah. Now, I tell people there's no such thing as an awkward customer. You know, they're often distracted. They couldn't find anywhere to park, or they're fed up of working with the boss all day, or they're disappointed, because the meal that's served to them wasn't what they pictured, and only a few of them are disruptive, mostly Canadians. You understand that, don't you? Yeah. But generally, unfortunately, people look at people and bundle them all together as being awkward and miserable, but they're not. If you just as well as I do, if you just understand them a little bit, you can make them into a very satisfied and happy customer, can't you?
Yes, I actually get asked this a lot about people who are disgruntled or negative as an employee, a colleague, or customers. And, you're exactly right, Malcolm. The first step is really having the perspective that I don't know what's going on with them. Maybe, like you said, maybe someone bumped into them in their car on the way to work, or maybe their kid is sick. Who knows what's going on? So to show up from a place of acceptance and understanding and really curiosity. So with the customer of saying, how's your day going? What's going on? And not judging from the beginning. I think the whole world needs more of that.
Yes, yeah. I think that's why there's been such a massive uptake in understanding conscious leadership, planet, people, profits, and purpose, because leaders suddenly have had to realize that they can't just sit in their corner office and send out memos. They've got to start communicating, haven't they?
Yes, absolutely. And connecting with people on a personal level, on an emotional level. Yes, I think that's what certainly the newer generation wants, but I think all generations, especially after what we've gone through over the last few years, is people crave authentic human connection.
Yeah. I've always remembered it in my all these years of coaching in hospitality, travel, and tourism, if I go into a new business, a new client, I can almost sense at the beginning, the first person I met, whether it's reception or whatever it may be, how the leader is leading in happy or not. Do you agree?
Yes, absolutely. The way, you can tell by, whether it's a grocery store, like you said, walk into reception, the energy, it doesn't even have to be the words, the energy that you get from people is a great indicator of how they're being treated. And then of course, that's going to translate into how they treat customers.
Yeah. And I've noticed over the years substantial changes, in maybe tourist attraction, which was managed by, I was talking about a particular one here with animals. I won't mention it totally, but it was managed by somebody that was an academic and didn't understand people. And then a professional tourism person came in, and the change in the staff was almost instant like that. And the change in the growth of customers was almost instant.
Yes. I've had the same, where I've had change of leadership from toxic and quite negative, and then a new person coming in that just infused life into the team. I'm thinking of a time in New York City, and just, everyone was energized and really motivated to go above and beyond.
Yes. I quite agree. I used to love working with some of the Marriott hotels who had a thing called Spirit to Serve was their sort of motto. And, everybody would be talking to you. It didn't matter. It was the guy cleaning the toilet door. Be saying, hello, sir, morning, sir, that sort of thing. It's wonderful, that, because it's coming from the top, don't you?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I think your book is going to do so well, Tia, and it's spot on for what we need today to move into 2022. We've had our survival of 2020. We've had our change or adaptability or pivoting, what do you want to call it? 21.
Pivot, yeah.
2022 is about thriving. Thanks, Tia. Now, let me remind our audience of your URL, your website address, which obviously viewers you can see on the screen behind me. But for listeners, let me spell it out. It's all the W's, arrive at happy, arriveathappy.com. So just remember get that station sign in your mind as your train pulls into happy. Right. Tia's book is called Be a Happy Leader. Stop feeling overwhelmed, thrive personally, and achieve killer business results. And it's hot off the press this January 2022 from Morgan James Publishing. And just like me, you're getting the importance of happiness in business success. Now, in episode 3, I'm asking Tia to take us through her great AAH, Arrive at Happiness, business growth process. So, are you up for more happiness, Tia?
Yes, definitely.
Let's do it.